hard to describe to anyone who isn't going through it. And you can try and relate what it's like to have a child with cancer, but I think the only people who will ever truly understand what it's like are other families who've gone down this road. Her eyes were just starting to swell, and I said to Fiona, she's the most beautiful eyes. I said, but I hope you see them because she's the most beautiful eyes. We actually thought she was never going to waken up. And she said, Fiona said, of course we're going to see her beautiful eyes. But we didn't see them for another 24 hours. We thought we were never going to see them. We were taken down to John's ward, and I'll never, ever forget the walk down that corridor. No parent should have to ever walk down that corridor.
I think it's the hardest walk anybody has to ever do in their lifetime as a parent. Like, you know, it's sorry. It's just when you walk down, it's you look into the room, each room to the left. It's so many sick children, and I think it's so hard to take in.
She had tumours behind her eyes. She had tumours wrapped around her spine. She had approximately 12 lesions on her liver. Her primary tumour was the size of a golf ball. It was in her bone marrow. It was in all of her bones. How did we get to be here? Our family of 4, our little baby of 9 months old, in St John's ward. It's just the most. It's actually surreal. You for the first week you can't believe you're there. You're just a walking zombie. But to physically be there, it's like an out-of-body experience. Your baby is lying unconscious. You're on a camp bed lying beside her, thinking, "What is going on? We should be at home in our house, playing with whatever toys they have." You're dealing with one child who is very, very sick, but then you're dealing with another child who misses his mummy and daddy and his sister. And it's very hard to get the balance right. So I was trying to spend the days in the hospital with Emer. My sisters or someone would come in and spend an hour with Emer so I could go and spend some time with Colm. Colm couldn't come up to see Emer because she was neutropenic, and in case he took in anything or anybody came in and took in anything. Kieran was trying to hold a job down during the day, and then he was coming up to sleep with Emer at night. And it's just a vicious circle. The simplest wee things would flare an argument. And that's the great thing about Barretstown. Because you come down here and suddenly everything is left behind. You come in here and you suddenly realise why you married each other, that you're actually good fun. And you can laugh and you can joke and you can have a bit of crack. Because for 9 months you didn't have that. You just have vomit, chemo, child looking for attention, hospitals, camp beds, wondering where you're going to get the shopping done, and you come down here and it's like, ah. So it couldn't have come at a better time for us, because after the 9 months of hell, this was just an oasis, just the most amazing thing that could have happened, because suddenly we realised that, yeah, there is light at the end of the tunnel. The 4 of us could be a family and do normal things that families do. And there was no tension, there was no worries about Emer and whether Freddie was okay or whether, you know, everything was fine because the med shed was here. We knew there was a nurse here, we knew there was doctors here if needed be. Crumlin was only 30 minutes up the road, so we didn't worry about anything. It's hard to believe she's been through what she's been through. You forget, thankfully you forget. And thank God for places like this, because it made it 1,000 times easier. And I can say that from the bottom of my heart. Like, you look at her now, she's the picture of health. She's just bounding around the house. She does everything that any other 3-year-old does. She goes to play school, she has all her friends. She fights it in and out with her brother. They play together, they do everything that any normal brother and sister do. And then sometimes you sit and look and you go, oh my God, look what you've come through.
If you're lonely, I will call. If you're poorly, I will send poetry. I love you. I am the milkman of human kindness. I leave an extra pie.